girl T Speaks here. I am back with another video. Of course, before we get started, I need you to do me a huge favor. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Why click that subscribe button, you may ask? Because I want you to click that notification bell so that every time I upload some more tea, you'll be notified and you can jump right on and get right on into it like we're about to get on into it today. So click that subscribe button if you like my video. Click that thumbs up button and also comment because I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear your ideas and suggestions. How you feel? What's on your mind? Okay, now let's get into it. Today we're here to talk about none other than these crazy Real Housewives of Atlanta women. We are currently in season 13 and episode 11. We are still in South Carolina, Charleston to be exact. We are coming back from the after party of Strippergate. So the episode starts with the ladies are being outside of their house, their vacation home, and they are eating their seafood that LaToya Ali, we'll get into that later. LaToya Ali made the seafood boil that she was attempting to put together, and all the girls had to help her out a little bit. Yeah, we're out there eating that, tasting that for the first time. Apparently, it wasn't as bad as they thought it would be. I know Marlo had threw in a little shade there and said, well, this tastes okay. I mean, the shrimp are overcooked. I mean, what do you expect, sis? She threw the shrimp in before she even start cooking any of the other items that were in the boil, so of course they were probably all nasty. But anyway, overall the lady said that it was a pretty decent job. LaToya did a pretty good job, and they're eating it, enjoying it. Nobody's dead yet, so it must have been a decent seafood boil, and I hope they enjoyed it. So after, of course, Portia said, you know what, I'm not praying. Cynthia went ahead and prayed for the food. They pray for the food. They're enjoying the food. Say it's not half bad. And then out of nowhere, y'all girl, not my girl, y'all girl LaToya, they're talking about, of course, Strippergate, because for some reason they just keep, they're still talking about it because, of course, not for some reason, because Kenyamoore is still rambling on, doing her investigations, making these little subliminal comments, and just being real petty, real auntie-ish. Not even auntie, because aunties, when somebody calls you auntie, you're supposed to be like mature, we can look up to you, you cool, we can hang out with you, we can talk to you. But Kenya's not necessarily being auntie. She's being a child. She's being childish. She won't let it go. She's throwing these little daggers at Portia and Tanya. So LaToya, her friend decides to call her out on it. And I'm not a big fan of LaToya. I haven't really seen a lot. I'm going to give her a chance. I haven't seen much of her, but from what I've seen thus far, I'm not impressed. Not impressed. However, LaToya decides she wants to step up. She wants to say something to Kenya. So she says, Kenya, you've been going on and on and on and on about Strippergate. This is supposed to be a girls' trip. We don't need anybody judging. We don't need anybody taking anything back. We don't need that. We're not here for that. We were here to have fun. And clearly, you're trying to ruin the fun because you're worried about if somebody was sleeping with Bolo. If it did happen, it's between Bolo and whoever he slept with. Maybe be 1, 2, 5, 8, 12. It's their business. So Kenya gets a little bit on the defense because, of course, she feels, hey, you're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to be on my side. So they go back and forth a little bit with that. And then also LaToya calls out Drew because she feels, it doesn't make sense because now LaToya feels that Drew shouldn't have done what she did. And really it was harmless fun. Again, like I said, I've never been to a bachelorette party, but I can only imagine what goes on there in those types of parties. And it is what it is. So LaToya is trying to call Drew out and basically saying, hey, well, you were married. You're married and you're out here, making it clap, dancing with the strippers and this, that, and the other. And, just basically trying to give Drew a hard time. I don't know what her issue is with Drew. I don't know what her hard on is with Drew, but she's always coming for Drew. And of course, one of the reasons why I like Drew, because although they come for her, Drew shut it down. She just basically said, first off, fan, I did this, and this, and it is what it is. Aren't you married? That shut LaToya up real quick. like 0 to 100 real quick. Shut Latoya up. 0 to 100 real quick. So I like Drew. I give Drew that. She gets called out a lot, and she does. She speaks up for herself, and don't start nothing you can't finish. So Tanya decides she wants to jump in on the fun because, of course, Kenya's still with her little innuendo. She's still with her sidewaysness. So Tanya decides to say, you know what, Kenya? I was in the room with Portia. Now, I love Tanya, but you probably shouldn't have said that because all that was doing is adding fuel to the fire. You just threw some gasoline in that fire pit at that table because at that point, Kenya had dropped Tanya's name, but she wasn't coming at Tanya the way she was coming at Portia. So and nobody, of course, can conclude if something happened, something didn't happen or did happen. But now that Tanya's thrown herself and Portia under the bus by saying, well, I was in the room with Portia, but nothing happened. You know, we were just in there. I slept in there. You know how Tanya talks. I slept in there. You know, Kenya, nothing went on. And she was basically telling, you know, Kenya the same thing. Well, what's the issue? Are you sure? You know, she dropped this one line that killed me. Well, I mean, it has been a long time for you, Kenya, because of course Kenya has been talking about her divorce and separation for a long time, and her man hadn't been getting it in. So maybe that was why she had such an issue with whoever possibly allegedly was getting nasty with Bolo. Maybe she was jealous because she wanted a little bit of the action, but she couldn't because she was up there with her kid. And, you know, she got her own situation to figure out. So Kenya was, you know, she got on the defense. Well, you don't know what's going on in my house, but you worried about what's going on in the vacation house. And she pretty much said that. That was her words exactly. And she tried to play this role as, well, you know, I don't think it's okay for whoever, you know, to be in the house doing these type of things with my kid here. Girl, that was a stripper in there slanging his schlong around, and you were out downstairs with your legs wide open. So what's the difference between that and somebody in a room with the door closed? Yeah, you heard noises, but your child was upstairs. So now you're trying to make it as if, you know, well, my child was here and that was my issue with it. No, it's not. You're trying to be messy. Messy more. Messy. Stop it. Stop. Let them people do what they want to do. If they want to do whatever they want with their Hello Kitty, let them do it. That is their Hello Kitty and not yours. You worry about you and your child and your husband, or used to be husband. We're going to get into that a little bit later. Anyway, so finally, the ladies go back to Atlanta. They're done with Charleston. That was like the longest trip. I keep telling y'all, it seemed like the longest trip ever. So they're finally back home. The camera pretty much pans through all of the ladies, you know, coming back home, talking to their significant others about what happened on the trip. So you have, not all of the ladies, let me rephrase that, not all of the ladies, some of the ladies coming back telling their significant others as to what happened. Candy meets up with Don Juan to talk to him about it because Todd is out of town in New York. And then you also have Drew, who's back at the new house with her husband, Ralph, and they're talking about what happened. And you know what? I'm going to give it to Drew. She's real. Because she came back and told her husband everything. And I don't mean like everything like she did something, but I mean, you was making it clap in front of Bolo. Again, I'm not judging you, do what you want. But she explained, you know, hey, he pulled his thing out. He showed it. I was making it clap on him, practicing so I can, you know, do this with you when you get home. Candy's telling Don Juan pretty much everything what happened. But I respected Candy for her not saying anything. But the problem came in because she made it seem one way in the interviews and at the party and at the house in general in South Carolina. But then when she got with Don Juan, she decides that she wants to drop little hints. Well, you know, I think something happened, and this, that, and the other, and they're making jokes basically about the situation with allegedly Portia, Tanya, and Bolo. Then, of course, Don Juan decides he wants to, you know, throw up the situation that, well, you know, there was a call. Apparently, Don Juan is her employee, so he got a call saying that Bolo never arrived to the hotel after the bachelorette party. The car service had been waiting for him. He never showed up to the next morning. So they're basically insinuating, because of course, Kandi and Portia are cool, but they still have that slight, because of what happened several seasons ago. So they're cool. I won't say they're friends, but they're cool. So I don't think Kandi has any necessarily loyalty towards her. So, now that Don Juan's throwing this out there, well, maybe it was that. Maybe it was a long night with Tanya and Portia. Just insinuating and adding more fuel to the fire. They pan over to Cynthia. Cynthia's talking to her fiance, Mike Hill, and she's explaining it. She's doing another Drew. She's explaining everything in detail. Well, he did pull his thing out, did the little windshield wiper. That was cute. That was really cute, because in my head, I'm like, okay, windshield wiper, boom, boom. Okay, so he pulled it out, boom, boom. And, Mike was like, okay, well, did he do it like this? And how did he do it like that? And who was helping him? And who pulled it out? And this, that, and the other. And he was making light of it. He wasn't being a jerk or ass about it. And it was cool, because it's like, they're more mature. I don't want to say older, but they're more mature. So not everything affects them when it comes to situations like that, where they're with the opposite sex and things like that pop off and happen. So I thought that was pretty cool how, Mike took it, and he starts he starts doing his own little lap dance, trying to pretend to be the stripper and asking, Cynthia these questions, but he didn't get upset or feisty. And I thought that was pretty cool, because it's like, okay, they have open communication in their relationship, and they can just chit chat about anything pretty much. So back to Drew and Ralph. They're in the kitchen. I believe they're in the kitchen, not the kitchen, the bathroom, and they're just chit-chatting about what happened. Drew's telling him everything, the girls in the drama, the back and forth, the bachelorette party, the twerking and everything. And then, at first, Ralph seemed okay with it, but then he decides to switch all of a sudden. And apparently Drew had already told him pretty much what happened over the phone, and he was fine with it. So when she started getting into detail about how Bolo, pulled his thing out and she was twerking for him and this and that, all of a sudden he gets a little like, well, what else did he do? Well, how did he do this? And why did he do that? And it was just like, come on, dude. You just took a whole trip from Georgia to Tampa, Florida. You didn't tell your wife where you were going. You didn't tell her why you were going. You didn't tell her who you were with. She's asking, to this day, she's still asking you, well, what hotel did you stay at? And he's still being secretive and funny acting about that. So how dare you have the audacity to have this attitude or anything? This lady's telling you everything, that went on. And you're still questioning her as if like she's hiding something, or, you have a problem or issue with what she did. When you went to Tampa, she still has not gotten the rundown on what she was doing. So he, gets a little hot under the collar once Drew starts asking him, well, you know what, to be quite honest, I don't even know what you did in Tampa. Can you tell me that? And of course, he's still backpedaling and doing his little thing. So that's still, something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but something in the milk ain't clean with that. It'll come out soon. We're only on episode 11. Anywho, so they pan over to Miss Kenyamoore. She's over at a studio. She's doing a photo shoot for some type of magazine. Apparently they wanted her to do a photo shoot for them, uplifting women. Get your coin. I said this, get your coin, Kenya. Would I necessarily put you in a predicament or a situation where you're supposed to be uplifting women? Not so much. But you know what? At the end of the day, you're a mom. You need your coin. So kudos to you on that. Now, while Kenya's at the photo shoot, Latoya Ali, she comes in, show her little support. She brings a cake over to Kenya, and Kenya's acting all salty. She's acting real salty. She went to the beach. She got some salt water. She's still drinking on it from Charleston, South Carolina. She is so salty. Salt bae. She's salty with Latoya because basically Latoya called her out. Latoya called her out, and she needed to, because it was the investigation, the mock trials, the depositions that she was trying to pull. Girl, where did you get your Juris Doctorate? When did you become an attorney? When did you become a judge? Are you a magistrate? Show me the paperwork. In my Whitney Houston voice, show me the receipts. You don't have it. So sit down and have a seat. You're not a judge. You're not a jury. You're not a lawyer. Cut all the mock trials, depositions, and hearings out, sis. It ain't working. So, Kenya's a little salty with LaToya, and she tells her, you know what? I could take this cake and smash it in your face. That's the kind of relationship, I guess, that they have, that you can talk to your friends like that. Because none of my friends would talk to me like that. We cool, but we ain't that cool. Because you smash that cake in my face, baby, you're going to be licking it up off the floor. Not the floor, the flow. But anyway, so LaToya, it's like, well, what's wrong? What's the problem? And I guess by her saying that, I felt like she's acting like she didn't remember what happened, or she didn't think Kenya took it any type of way for her coming at Kenya the way she did, putting her in check. So, Kenya says, well, I felt like you attacked me. She always feels like she's under attack. She's victimized. She didn't appreciate LaToya calling her out in front of the girls. She felt like, you didn't have my back. You're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to be my homie. Then on top of that, she's upset because of the exchange that Portia, who's her arch enemy, in her voice, she says Portia wants to be like her. Your enemy, let's just say your lifelong enemy, since you both been on the show together, y'all been enemies, so just lay it out on the table. Because LaToya and, Portia were kissing and making out and doing all their little freaky deekies. Again, that's their problem, that's their business. Worry about yourself, Kenya. But she couldn't, as usual. So she decides to bring that up and, well, you were supposed to be my friend and you're here kissing all on Portia and doing this and the other. She just sounds jealous. Girl, you need to get you a rose, a rabbit, or something, because you seem like you need to release some stress. You angry, you bitter. You need somebody get Kenya a rose, a rabbit. What else they got to get her some cake? Get her some of Candy's products. Somebody, because she needs to take that edge off. She really does. She does. Let her get a little something. She might change her ways a little bit. Anyways, LaToya and her are able to pretty much talk it out, squash their little situation, their little beef, and, they keep it moving from there. So, Drew comes over to visit Portia. So Drew's new house is not far from where Portia lives. So Drew stops by and she comes over to hang out with Portia. Portia's got they got mimosas and muffins. Now, I've known about people putting muffins or pastries in the oven, the microwave, 5-10 minutes, boop. And I know I put like a donut or something in there, but I've never heard of anybody putting butter on their donut, or margarine on their muffin. Never heard of that. Might have to give it a shot. Might have to try it out just a little bit, because I do like my pastry and, put it in the microwave for a little 5-10 seconds, get a little, yeah. But I've never heard anybody putting butter on their muffins. I don't know. Never heard of it. Might try it out now. But so they're basically, Drew and Portia are sitting there just chit-chatting about the trip, doing a whole nother recap, just with them together. Portia's saying, you know what, I'm glad you were there. You were one of the fun girls. You were able to have fun, and leave it there. Leave it freaking there. Now, meanwhile, Drew and Portia sitting at the table just chit-chatting about the trip. And Drew's phone rings, and it's her husband. She has him on speaker. Hey, babe, what's up? Hey, call and see where you're at. She blatantly lies. Not to his face, but over the phone. She blatantly lies. Oh, well, I already went to the grocery store. I had to make another stop. I'm on my way home. Portia coughs in the background. It was hilarious because Drew was just lying. I'm not saying you don't lie to your significant other every now and again, but Drew, he been lying to you about Tampa. You lying to him about where you at. Something ain't right, babe. Something in the milk ain't clean. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. I really like Drew. Something in the milk ain't clean, because you just throwing out these lies like boom, boom, boom. Your husband throwing out these lies like boom, boom, boom. Something ain't right. Somebody gonna tell me something for this episode is over. This season is over. Somebody gonna tell me something. Something gonna come up. Something gonna come up. So then we go over to Cynthia. Cynthia is, back at her place with her sister, mom, and her daughter, Noelle. They're over there chit-chatting about, plans for the wedding. You know, the bridal party, getting everybody together, talking about people that are there who come late. Now, you can be late on any other day, but if you're in the bridal party, you cannot be late, sis. So they're trying to get all that together and the time together. And then out of nowhere, Noelle decides she's going to tell her mom, listen, mom, you ashy. Your feet ashy. And of course, you know, those cameramen on Real Housewives, they are petty. So they went over and put the camera down to her feet, and her feet were ashy. They were ashier than that time when Portia and Kenya got into it, and Portia deemed Kenya ashy. It's your ashy self. You need to go put some lotion on. Well, Cynthia was ashy. But you know what? It was cute because, you know, we saw Noelle grow up in the show. And it's just cute just seeing her and her mom kind of go back and forth and just chit-chat. And it's always fun to see, like, the kids call their parent out. Because I know I call my parents out in a minute. Listen, you ashy. I need you to fix that, like, today. Like, now. So it was a cute little scene between the two. Something to lighten up the mood from the whole last 2 episodes. You know, just little things like that are always cute. And then they also show Candy with her 2 kids, with Blaze and Ace playing. Well, not Blaze isn't playing. Candy's holding her, but Ace and Candy are, you know, playing a little tabletop game together. And then they pan over to Portia, and she's there with her little baby girl. Then she's brushing her teeth. So, you know, I like how they implement those cute moments with, you know, the kid, with other, you know, with the housewives and their kids. Just shows them in a different light, as opposed to just being bitchy all day, screaming and yelling, and attitudes, aggravating. You know, it's always cute to just mix it up. So I thought that was really cute for them to do that. Now, this part right here, I'm not laughing at anybody's demise, anybody's negativity, because it can happen to anybody. But when I say karma is a you know what, baby, karma's a you know what. So we get into the last scene of this episode with Miss Kenyamoore Daily. Let me specify, Kenyamoore Daily. So Kenya decides, you know, she's going to go over to speak with her attorney, her divorce attorney. Let me get it together. Her divorce attorney. She goes in, you know, hi, I'm here to see, goes in, meets with her attorney. She starts pouring her heart out, telling the attorney how, you know, she's talked to Mark. And first they talk about the custody situation. I'm not sure why they're talking more about the custody situation than the actual proceedings with the divorce. That's something I'm sure is going to come out eventually, but I'm not really sure why they were specifying or focusing on that. But they start talking about the custody, and then Kenya goes into, well, you know, I don't really know what we're going to do. We may want to work things out. Mark's been sending me love songs, you know, about him wanting to be back with me, sending me playlists. And then the attorney says, oh, well, you know, we've been trying to serve him with the custody documents, and he hasn't been responding. It's been very difficult. Someone even said he no longer lives there. But then Kenya, you know, okay, well, you know, I guess we're going to have to reserve him. But yeah, he's been talking about how he wants to get back together, and he wants his family back. He wants that old thing back. He wants to, you know, he's got these playlists of songs, and she's just, you know, just going on and on and on and on. And then out of nowhere, her attorney, which he's doing his job. I mean, he didn't mean to do it. I mean, it wasn't like a, you know, let me throw some salt on your parade, or excuse me, rain on your parade. Salt, where did I get salt from? I don't know. Rain, let me throw some rain on your parade. I got these documents in today from Mark's attorney. Kenya's just like, pick your mouth up, sis. Pick it up. And these are divorce papers. Now, Kenya's like, what? Divorce papers? What do you mean divorce papers? Divorce papers, sis. Divorce. Remember you made fun of Portia when she got a divorce? Remember you made fun of Phaedra Parks when her and her husband got a divorce? You made fun of Nene when she got a divorce. Karma's a you know what. So, you know, she gets the documents, and of course, for some reason, I don't know why his attorney filed them in New York. That wasn't smart. You would want to file them in Atlanta. I mean, common sense. But anyway, he files the paperwork, And, Kenya's like, well, let me see them. She wants to see them. And while she's flipping through the pages, her attorney's still talking to her, just telling her what's going on. No, she basically just cuts him off. She's so devastated. She doesn't want to hear anything her attorney has to say. She wants to go through the paperwork. So she's going through the paperwork as if by flipping through them faster and faster and faster is going to change what's on the paperwork. It ain't, but, it is what it is. She's, in shock because I guess he told her he wanted to get back together. Now he's filing these divorce papers. So she goes through them all and reads them. And, the attorney's like, well, and he also's wanting alimony. Alimony? What do you mean he wants alimony? He doesn't even want to fight for custody for his child. And I'm like, Kenya, which one is it? Because if you didn't want to fight for custody with your child, when you just file paperwork, you guys make an agreement to be done with it. I don't know. Something's missing. I don't know really what it is. I don't know if maybe it's the editing. Kenya's telling a lie. I don't know. But something ain't right. So, Kenya talks about how Mark did say, I think it was the last season before this one, when they first introduced Mark to the show, and he was saying, I don't want anything from Kenya. I'm not here looking for a come up. I'm not here to be an opportunist. Let her have everything. I'll build it from scratch all over again. I've done it once. I'll do it again. So now he's looking for alimony. Things change, sis. I mean, people say that all the time. Well, I'm not looking for anything, and I'm not this, that, and the other. And, divorces get nasty. I was a kid when my parents were divorced. I know things get nasty and ugly. So you just taking his word for it just sounds ridiculous because, again, people change when they have a divorce. When they're going through a divorce, they're not the same. They're different. It brings out the worst in people. So, unfortunately, he wants alimony now. So, that's something, that her and her attorney's going to have to figure out. But either way, Mark's going to have to get that case transferred from to Georgia. But either way, it seems like he's done. I mean, he's been in New York all this time. She's been in Georgia. If he was really trying to get that old thing back, wouldn't he be making trips to Georgia? I mean, he's got the money to do it. I don't know. Somebody ain't telling something. But I guess we're going to find out pretty soon. So that ends that episode. And then they show the previews of the next upcoming episodes. And it looks like they're in some type of Halloween theme party. Because everybody's in masks and different costumes. So that should be fun. Hopefully that's something cool that the ladies end up doing together. And we can get engaged in that. Because those ladies know how to throw a party. Now, I know they know how to bitch and complain. But they do know how to throw a party. So I'm definitely excited to see what's going to happen with that. And then they also painted this one scene where looks like Drew's calling Toya out for sleeping with the pastor. Not the pastor. Girl, child cheese. I need to see that episode. I want to see the costume party and all that, but I need to see what's going on with that. Now, they knew what they were doing because they're like, okay, well, Strippergate then died down, so let's just spice it back up and let's talk about LaToya and this pastor. So I can't wait to see that. I don't know what episode that's going to be, but I'm going to be here and I'm going to be here to talk about it. So make sure you do what you got to do so that you're notified when I drop those videos. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click that notification bell. Like this video because I know you like it. I know you like that tea that I was passing out today. And comment. Tell me what are your thoughts. How do you feel about the whole episode? Specifically, tell me what do you think about what Mark did to Kenya? Give me your opinion. Now, I know I'm a little anti-Kenya, but I love to hear your comments. I love to hear what your thoughts are. Do you think it's karma? Or do you think it's just life? Life just ran its course. The relationship ran its course, and this is just the outcome of it. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. You got a base. Watching. Thank you so much for watching my video. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video, and be blessed. Have a good one. Love you guys. Bye.